Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the dark side of science. We're not talking about mad scientists and evil labs, though that's cool too. We're talking about the theories, the hypotheses, the ideas that keep physicists up at night. These theories are not just mind-bending, but downright dangerous. They challenge our very understanding of the universe and our place in it. Stay tuned till the end to find out which theory tops our list, and why you should be very, very afraid. Let's start with a bang, shall we? Or rather, a splattering of infinite realities, quantum suicide. It's not just the name of a bad heavy metal band, folks. This theory takes the already bizarre world of quantum mechanics and adds a dash of existential dread. Imagine this. You point a gun at your head, one that's rigged to a quantum measurement device. Every time you pull the trigger, the gun either fires or it doesn't, a 50-50 chance determined by the unpredictable whims of the quantum world. Now here's where it gets really freaky. According to quantum suicide, each time you pull that trigger, the universe splits. In one universe, the gun fires. And well, that's the end of your story in that reality. But in another universe, the gun doesn't fire. You're still alive. And this happens every single time. You keep pulling the trigger, the universes keep splitting, and there's always one where you survive. Think about the implications. From your perspective, you would never experience death, even if you lived for billions of years and kept pulling that trigger. You'd be constantly hopping to realities where you survive. Spooky, right? But it gets weirder. What about all those other universes where you died? What happens to them? Are they just empty shells devoid of your consciousness? And what does this say about the nature of reality itself? If there are infinite versions of us out there, living out every possible outcome, are any of our choices truly meaningful? It's enough to make your head spin faster than a particle accelerator. Okay, so maybe the idea of infinite realities is a bit too much to swallow. How about something a little more, shall we say, grounded? Let's talk about gray goo. This isn't some cheesy sci-fi monster movie, folks. This is a scenario that has some very real scientists sweating under their lab coats. Imagine this. Tiny, self-replicating nanobots, microscopic machines designed to manipulate matter at the atomic level. Sounds cool, right? Like something out of Star Trek? Well, it could be, or it could be the end of everything we know. See, the problem with self-replicating anything is that things can get out of hand pretty quickly. One nanobot becomes two becomes four, and before you know it, you've got an army of microscopic machines consuming everything in sight. And I mean everything. Buildings, trees, cars, even you and me, all reduced to a homogeneous sludge of gray goo. It's the ultimate ecological disaster, a runaway chain reaction that could literally devour the planet. Now, before you go building a bunker in your backyard, it's important to note that gray goo is still a hypothetical scenario. We're nowhere near developing nanotechnology this sophisticated or this reckless, but it's a stark reminder that even the most well-intentioned scientific advancements can have unintended consequences. It's a cautionary tale about the importance of ethical considerations in science and the need to think carefully about the potential risks before we unleash powerful new technologies into the world. Chapter 3. The Simulation Hypothesis. Is your life just a computer program? Alright, let's take a break from the end-of-the-world scenarios for a moment and ponder something a little more philosophical. The Simulation Hypothesis. This one's a real head-scratcher, folks. It asks a simple question with a potentially mind-blowing answer. What if everything we see, everything we feel, everything we think we know about reality, is just a simulation? Think about it. We already create incredibly complex simulations in our computers, from realistic video games to sophisticated climate models. So, isn't it possible just maybe that we ourselves are living in a simulation created by a more advanced intelligence? Maybe we're just lines of code in some cosmic computer program and this whole reality thing is just an elaborate illusion. Now I know what you're thinking. Neil, that's crazy talk. I have a feeling I'm real, this chair I'm sitting on feels real. And you know what? You're right. But that's the thing about a good simulation. It's designed to be indistinguishable from reality. If we are living in a simulation, the creators would have made sure it's convincing, right down to the smallest detail. So, how could we ever know for sure? The truth is, we might not. We might be forever trapped in our simulated world, blissfully unaware of the true nature of our existence. Or maybe, just maybe, there are glitches in the matrix, subtle clues that hint at something more. Chapter 4. The Doomsday Argument. Are we living on borrowed time? Let's face it, Humans aren't exactly known for our long-term planning. We pollute our planet, wage wars, and generally make a mess of things. But what if our time is actually running out? What if our days are numbered, not in the billions or millions but in mere centuries or even decades? That's the grim possibility presented by the Doomsday Argument. Don't worry, this isn't some ancient prophecy or Nostradamus prediction. It's a probabilistic argument, a cold, hard look at the numbers. Here's the basic idea. If we assume that humans will continue to be born at roughly the same rate, then statistically speaking, there are more humans who have already lived than humans who will ever live in the future. Think of it like this. You're more likely to be born at a time when the human population is large than at a time when it's small. And since we're currently experiencing a population boom, the argument suggests that we're closer to the end of the human race than the beginning. Now I know what you're thinking, but Neil, humans are resourceful. We've survived ice ages, plagues, and even disco. We'll find a way. And you're right, we are a tenacious species. But the Doomsday Argument isn't about any specific threat, it's about the sheer odds. It's a sobering reminder that our time on this planet is finite, and we shouldn't take our continued existence for granted. Chapter 5. Vacuum Decay, the universe's ultimate undoing. We've covered some pretty scary stuff so far, from quantum suicide to self-replicating nanobots, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the sheer terror of vacuum decay. This isn't just the end of humanity or even the Earth, folks, this is the end of everything, the entire universe wiped clean in an instant. So, what is this cosmic horror show all about? Well, it all comes down to something called the Higgs field, an invisible energy field that permeates all of space. This field is responsible for giving particles mass, which is kind of important for, the existence of matter as we know it. Now, here's the scary part. The Higgs field might not be in its most stable state. It could be what physicists call a false vacuum, a temporary state that's vulnerable to collapsing into a lower energy state, a true vacuum. And what happens when the vacuum decays? Well, imagine a bubble forming somewhere in the universe, a bubble of true vacuum expanding at the speed of light. Everything this bubble touches, every star, every planet, every atom, would be instantly annihilated, completely erased from existence. There would be no warning, no time to escape. It would be the ultimate cosmic reset button, wiping the slate clean and leaving nothing but an empty void. The good news? Vacuum decay is still theoretical. We don't even know for sure if the Higgs field is in a false vacuum state. But it's a chilling reminder that the universe can be a chaotic and unpredictable place. And sometimes, the laws of physics themselves can be our greatest threat. Outro, stay curious and slightly terrified. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more mind-blowing content. Which theory scared you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.